So today we will talk about the modern architect. So the architect that I choose is ZUHAIR. So her name is ZUHAIR. She born in October 31st, 1950, and she died in March 31st, 2016. Right. So in her life, ZUHAIR came from very wealthy family lah. Her father is politician and her mother was a businessman and an artist as well. So ZUHAIR early education she got from American University of Beirut. She majoring in mathematics, and then she go to London and she get Architecture Association School of Architecture, majoring in architecture lah in London, England. So ZUHAIR she never married and didn't have any children because she was fully dedicated her life for architecture, and she was known for her strong personality and visionary design. And she died due to heart attack in 2016. So ZUHAIR at least won 4 times prize in her lifetime. So the first one is Pritzker Architecture Prize in 2004, and then she get RIBA gold medal in 2016, and she get Sterling Prize in 2010 and 2011. So she got twice in a row. So her influence in architecture, ZUHAIR inspired by artists like Kazmi Malevich, and he is an artist who particularly in his abstract lah and geometric composition. This influence evident in her angular and fragmented design because, as we can see in architectural masterpiece that ZUHAIR had in her early life, like Maxi Museum in Italy and Vitra Fire Station, Germany. Maxi Museum Italy her design is so complicated and so abstract that he kind of one of the person that made the museum look so bold, and the design is so modern lah, and the building that she used mostly in glass and steel for museum. But in Vitra Fire Station, because this is her first design, so she made like very bold and very bold and strong design.
Second modernist architecture is Philip Johnson. The real name Philip Johnson is Philip Cotellieu Johnson. He was an American architect who played a major role in shaping both modern, which is modern and postmodern architecture. He born on July 8 at 1906 in Cleveland, Ohio. He became one of the most influential figures in 3rd century design. His career spanned over 7 decades, and his work continues to inspire architecture today. On January 25, 2005, at the age of 98, Philip Johnson passed away. He leaving behind a legacy of bold and visionary design that continue to shape the world of architecture. How Philip Johnson became an architect? His journey was shaped by his love for design, his travel, and his desire to make a difference. First, Johnson was very interested in design. He loved philosophy and history, which inspired him to think about how building could be more than just structure, and then they could have meaning and beauty. Then he traveled to Europe, where he saw the work of famous modernist architects like Le Corbusier and Mies van der Rohe. Their simple foundational design impressed him and influenced his design about architecture. Then finally, Johnson wanted to create buildings that would have a latest impact. He believed architecture was a way to shape the world and leave something meaningful behind. Because of the experience, Philip Johnson became one of the most important architects of his time, helping to shape modern and postmodern architecture and helping to shape modern and postmodern architecture. Thank you. Philip Johnson's education played a crucial role in shaping his architectural career. Her first studied philosophy at Harvard University, but developed a passion for architecture through extensive travel in Europe, where he encountered modernist pioneers like Le Corbusier and Mies van der Rohe. In 1932, he co-founded that architecture department at the Museum of Modern Art, which is MoMA, and created the international style ambition, which is introduction to America. However, his desire to design led him back to Harvard Graduate School of Design, where he formally studies architecture under Michael Burry and Walter Gropius. The graduate laid the foundation for his later work, including the iconic glass house. Now, let's talk about Philip Johnson's key achievement and honors. Philip Johnson was a famous architect. He won the first ever Pritzker Architecture Prize in 1979. This is like the Nobel Prize for Architect. He also received the AIA Gold Medal for his great work in architecture. Next, we have Philip Johnson's personal life. Philip Johnson was openly gay in his later years. He had relationships with both men and women. His longtime partner was David Whitney, an art curator. They lived together for most of their life. The last one, we have Philip Johnson masterpiece in architecture. One of his most famous buildings is the Glass House in Buchanan, built in 1949. It is a minimalist house with large glass walls that blend with nature. He was inspired by Mies van der Rohe. Another important building is the AT&T building in New York City. Complete in 1984, it has a special Chippendale design on top. This building is an example of postmodern architecture mixing classical and modern elements. So, the conclusion about Philip Johnson is he made a big impact on architecture. He experimented with different styles and left behind many iconic buildings. His work continues to inspire architects today.